Hi everyone, this is Mr. Round here, and this video is for both students and parents because parents are going to need to know a little information about SmartMusic, and what I'm going to talk about is really important, especially if your child ends up having any kind of difficulty using the SmartMusic program. So they're going to be logging in through their Schoology, and here I am with my login. Their login will be their first five, middle initial 00 at isd728.org, and then the password will be RMS6band. Now I've noticed there are a couple students who actually somehow use their own email, so if they're having trouble getting in, and they should try using their email and see if that works, an email that's different than the school's. In the end, if there are problems getting in, please make sure you let me know. But it's RMS, the number 6, and the word band. And they would log in. And once they're in, they will see a different page than this. They will see a SmartMusic homepage. My page looks a little different. I'm going to click on home here, and you'll be able to see what they see. Now over here, what will load up is the list of songs that they should be working on. First of all, it's important to know that I put a bunch of songs on there. Way more songs that they're going to need to send to me. So please don't panic when your child has not submitted all of the songs that are on the list. The instructions will all be in Schoology as to how many or what songs they need to actually submit to be graded. So please notice that their list has more than what they actually need to send to me. Secondly, they will have dates on these songs. Please know that the dates don't necessarily mean anything. They're there for me to be able to just make sure that I can keep music on the screen for a long period of time. In Schoology, when it lists a certain date to have something turned in, that is the date to follow. So ignore dates that you see in SmartMusic because they don't necessarily mean that that is exactly when something has to be sent to me. Now, most of the things that are going to be sent to me are from lesson books, and most of them are going to be from the lesson book that they own. However, there will be more lesson books than the ones they own. We'll be using the lesson books at school. When they're at home, it's highly recommended that they use SmartMusic because that is where I can send them music that's outside of their lesson book. I have currently clicked on one of the lesson books that we're going to be playing out of, which so happens to be the one that they own. And I'm going to pick a song here and show you exactly how to approach their SmartMusic. Of course, the first song that we're going to be playing a lot is Hot Cross Buns. I'm sorry, you're going to be hopefully hearing a lot of that at home. And I'm going to open it up right here. And I'm going to go over a couple of the tools so that students know exactly how to use this program and exactly what to expect. Now, before I do that, as it's loading, I'm going to launch a new campaign called the No More Tears campaign. This is the campaign that I want to start this year because I've heard many times from parents and students about how they got so frustrated because they couldn't get SmartMusic to work or they had problems with it. This year we are going to do a No More Tears program because I want to show you, I want to help you, I want to make you understand how this works so that we don't have to have that kind of frustration at home. Another thing to understand is this picture right here. A man can make mistakes. A computer does not make any mistakes. That is baloney. This is not true. This is the thinking that a lot of my students have, that somehow they are bad because a computer cannot possibly make mistakes. Well, a computer's not a human being, and when we play music, the computer picks up certain things, and it's all digital and analog, and there are lots of things that people do that the computer doesn't understand. And so if they don't end up getting some perfect score, students, when they're playing a song, there are reasons why, and it doesn't mean that they're bad. Please, please, please make sure your kids know that at home. This will avoid a lot of tears at home. First of all, next here is Hot Cross Buns, one of the songs you're going to play. If they want to know how it's going to sound, you click on My Part and you turn off this button. And that will play the part for them, so they'll be able to hear how this song goes. Okay? Once they start getting good at it, they're going to be adding this background eventually. Alright, so where the tears happen to come in is when they practice this song long enough and they click on this red button and start making recordings. Now, as you can see, this blue bar moves along and it ends up landing on the notes exactly when they need to be played. If a student plays the note just a hair too soon, it will show up as a kind of a yellow note. Okay, so the screen is telling you, oh, you're playing it a little bit too soon. Now, students may play this perfectly, every single note perfectly, but they might play it just a hair too soon or a hair too late, and the computer doesn't, it's not a human being. It's not going to correct that and say, oh, well, you just played a little too early, that's all. No, it will say it's wrong. And that's important to know, that what matters is playing the correct notes. I don't necessarily care if a student ended up playing the note a tiny bit too soon or a tiny bit too late. I have grace and compassion for how the kids are playing. So please know that they should not just necessarily take everything exactly how they see it on the screen. Another thing is, they might be using the correct fingers on getting all the notes, but they might be playing the notes too low, which is sometimes what happens to trumpet players, trombone, and baritone players. Their instrument could be slightly out of tune, which means that instead of hearing that exact note, it's like a little bit lower than that, and that is causing everything to be red. So that can happen a lot. And please know, when we are starting out on instruments, we are going to play out of tune, and this is normal. It's really cool, the program where you can click on the note and you can find out how to play the note by clicking on this button on the left. Click on the button on the right, especially for brass players. They can hear exactly how that note should start. So, I think these are important things, especially as parents, to know that this computer program will tell them sometimes they're playing wrong when they think they're playing right. Another thing is, most of the songs, when I send them to students, I allow them to be able to click the tempo so they can slow the song down and go their speed. I don't care at all about speed. I just care about accuracy, playing the right fingerings on the notes and trying to get the best sound they can. Now, to avoid the tears and the frustration at home, one thing to do is, once they start getting frustrated, tell them to put their instrument away and come back to it another time. And let's say this happens again and they still have that same frustration. If they feel like they played all the right notes, they're going to be clicking a button up here that says Submit. They're going to submit it to me. And on my end, I'm going to be able to hear their recording, and I will be able to know exactly what it is that SmartMusic is picking up that's telling them they're doing wrong. So please, please, please know that I am the one in charge, not the computer program. Many, many times I go in and adjust student scores because I feel like they did a better job than what SmartMusic says. So please understand that, and I just beg you to help your child not end up like this person right here. If you have any other questions about the program, feel free to contact me. But I hope that this program will be helpful to students, that they can actually feel like they're almost having a teacher at home that can teach them how to play the right way and how to hear the music. I hope that they enjoy this.